Hello. Today we're going to talk a little bit marketing, especially email campaigns. Does your brewery do email campaigns, but you're not real sure how well they go? So you know your staff spends time and money putting these together, but you're never really sure, are they actually driving traffic to either your brewery or your website? Let's look at a Tableau dashboard that's going to help try to answer some of these questions. A few things we're going to see here are understanding the success of our different email campaigns. Try to identify some that are going well and some that aren't. And ideally, we can learn from the ones that are doing good so that all of our campaigns have better success in the future. We'll try to understand the different metrics associated with each and then understand our performance for a certain period, but then also see trends over time. Are we getting more or less engagement from our email campaigns than what we previously did? Hopefully we're getting more. And if not, we can turn around something today. And as we look at this dashboard each month into the future, we'll be able to see some of these metrics improve. All right, so here's our dashboard on email campaign performance. First, since we got quite a bit on here, let me orient you with what you're looking at, and then we'll see if we can find a few insights that if your team was using this, they could use to drive different actions in the future. So first of all, we're filtered down to a specific period. Some of this data is a little bit old, but that doesn't really matter. In any case, from here, you can filter on any period of time you wanted to look at. We're going to look high level at some of these metrics. So what did we send? What did people open? What was our open rate? How many clicks did we get? So did somebody click on a link to maybe come to our website or something else to sign up, or maybe to a purchase site? This is for all the opens we got, how many people clicked. So in this case, about 10%. And then finally, for everything we sent, how many got a click? In this case, about 2%. Okay, next up, let's look at some big trending. So we're looking at opens over time. And then we're looking at clicks over time. Are we getting better or worse than recent performance? All right, next up, we're going to break down each of our different email campaigns into a topic. So we're looking at different events we have. Maybe this is music or even a beer festival. This is information on beers, new beers we're brewing. Merchandise, always trying to sell some good merchandise. So showing our customers what we have to offer, stuff that's new. And then finally, we send a few membership emails out every year as we try to get people part of our beer membership club. So we can see we generally send out, or 50% of the emails we send are related to events. So a lot of people are signed up for that list. 35% beers, 15 merch, and not a whole lot of membership. So yeah, that's how the overall volume breaks down. And then we're just looking at each of those over time. So this is showing like in January, for whatever reason, we sent out a lot of event emails. So maybe that was getting people ready for the spring. And then since then, it's kind of died down. Okay, next up, we're looking at open rate. Can we find anything interesting here? And in this case, there's not too much insightful. So this is showing we have about a 25% open rate across all of our different categories. So people aren't generally more or less likely to open a certain type of email. They open it all. About a quarter of the people that receive them today open them. And then next up, we're looking at our click-through rate. So again, what this was for all the emails we sent in the period, how many got somebody to click on them? So either a link or something else, maybe sending them to our website or a place to buy beer. And we'll see a little bit of difference by category here. So generally, event and membership, we're getting a little bit higher click-through rate than beer or merchandise. And then again, we're showing some trending. Okay, so kind of the final two to look at, we're going to get into some more specific detail on individual campaigns. That's what this first scatter plot is showing. It's the relationship between how many we are sending. So each campaign is a circle. And if we send a lot of emails in that campaign, it's going to fall in the upper part of this graph. So these are some of the big ones that had a lot of emails going out. And then down here, we're plotting what the click-through rate was. So we want a lot of clicks per email sent, and we want to send a lot of emails. So up here, would mean we're really getting a lot of engagement and driving traffic back to our website or somewhere else that we're trying to send people with these email campaigns. If you were to hover over any of these, you can kind of see what that specific campaign's, what it was for and what its performance was. This one was alerting somebody to beer. We sent about 4,000 emails and we got about 200 clicks, so about a 5% click rate. And then finally, we're going to really get down into the details over here in a lot of precision, so we can see for each campaign, how many did we send, how many opened, open rate clicks, click to open rate, and click-through rate. We've already talked through each of those. And then we could quickly sort on this to see, let's just do click-through rate, for example. So we could see which ones had higher or lower click-through rates. Okay. So let's do a few takeaways. We already kind of talked through some of these as I went through it, but let's try to find a few more. One might be that as we're looking at our long-term open trending, it's been dropping a little bit recently for when this analysis was put together. So in prior periods, we had more people opening our emails and a little bit less recently. And to a certain extent, the clicks have also followed through. So we're getting less clicks now than we would have in previous parts of the year. We already kind of talked through, we don't see too much difference by open rate or click-through rate, so I won't go through those some more. And then just coming back to the scatter plot. So as a reminder, we want to see things that are in this quadrant. Up here is showing we have stuff we sent out a lot of emails on, but in this case, we really didn't get very many clicks. So our click-through rate was down to 1%. So that might be something that we would want to look into. We spent the time putting something together and sent it to 4,000 people, but we only had 31 clicks. So let's open that one up and revisit it and try to maybe get some feedback from some of our good customers or just amongst our staff and try to brainstorm, well, why wasn't that one driving clicks? And maybe we'll find that like a link was broken. So people were trying to click, but they weren't able to. And even if that was the case, that's a good learning for our team to be especially cognizant of making sure and checking all of that ahead of sending these out. Something else that stands out is this one is really an outlier on the click rate. So we got almost 10% clicks for this merchandise email. So that would be another good one to look at and try to find, well, what was so successful with that one where we were able to get 10% of all the emails we sent out, somebody clicked on it to drive back to our website. And I guess that also stands out on top of this screen. So this, I happened to sort this by click-through rate before. So that 9% one is this campaign 655. So it'd be interesting to compare that one. And if we scrolled all the way down to the bottom, some of these other ones, we barely got anybody to open and click. So let's compare maybe a merchandise type one that has very low click-through rate to that other one that had an extremely high click-through rate and start to find what some of the differences are. And then we can modify our actions in the future as we're putting these together to be more successful. If we're going to invest the time and energy into creating an email campaign, we want to make sure it's doing what we want it to do. So this is a good way to help our team understand the metrics behind it and then become better at putting these together. All right, so that was our email dashboard. Just to summarize again what we looked at our overall volume and performance and a lot of our high-level metrics for our email campaigns. We looked at each individual subject and saw what volume we were sending out of each, are any performing better or worse than others. And then we really got down into the details and we found a few campaigns that were doing especially good or especially bad. And then we'd be able to direct our team to look into those some more so they'd understand what's going on. So I hope that was interesting to look at. If you have any questions on this, or more importantly, if you'd like to see some of your own email campaign information going through this dashboard to see what insights we can have to help your team work better, please contact me. My email is jeremy@centralcoast-analytics.com. Again, that email is jeremy@centralcoast-analytics.com. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.